What's going on, guys? Welcome to a live broadcast of the Blazing Defender Report. This is the live chat. Jason Jones, what's going on, buddy? Always glad to see you. And man, I was just about to say, I always love it when you or Debo are one or two in the chat. I don't know why, it just makes me feel good. It's kind of like, you're getting ready to play the big game, and something happens, you're like, yeah, I'm going to have a good game today. So you two guys being 1 and 2, that's fucking fantastic and perfect for this episode. For you guys that are going to watch this later on YouTube or on Facebook, this is the live chat part. This is where guys enter the chat room, and I get everything ready to go for the live recording. I just kind of I get it going a little bit, like people to join in. Dennis Robinson? Are we being graced with Botched? Is the Botched podcast, the heart of the Botched podcast, is he in the chat room right now? It's amazing. Hey, did Casey Strohs is in the house. Man, the chat is already looking lovely. Lovely. Oh, come on, man. What is the plan? Dude, I planned this for fucking a whole weekend. You had to do it tonight? I understand. Botched everybody. Botched the D&D podcast. Please check those guys out. I don't think they do a live show, though, do they? No. Dennis has a great show. We're going to talk about those guys later, as I usually do, because they have a fantastic podcast. I love listening to it. Oh yeah, where's my troll at, man? You're not anything on the internet without a fucking troll. Where's Andrew at? Who knows? Andrew's fucking on a street corner begging for change or some shit. Who knows what Andrew's doing right now? But he's not trolling me. Oh, the ever-present, not a hoax, not a imaginary story. Oh, okay, you record every Tuesday. I try to do Monday unless I work. I try to do Monday unless I work on Monday. Then I usually try to do Tuesday. The Brooks Broncos. Guys in the chat, Jeff Sparlock and I went to elementary school together. Is no lie. What's going on, Jeff? Jeff, big comic book guy too, so don't think he's not. He is he's a comic book guy from way, way back, just like I am. That's what me and Jeff bonded over, if I'm not mistaken, was comic books on the bus. Yes, Jeff, I remember that shit, man. It does not escape me. My memory is very poor, mind you, but I do remember shit like that, important shit. Guys, I've got a really good show, man. I got a really good show. I think it's a good show. Fuck, I don't know. It probably isn't. But we're going to get it started. I've got comic books to talk about. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. If you guys aren't aware, there's a little bit of controversy going on right now with John Malin. I think that's how you say his last name. If not, I'm sure Jason Jones will Blazing Defender Report. First one of 2018, right? This is the first comic-centric episode of 2018. We did the Last Jedi review show, and now we get to talk about comic books, man. This is what I like. This is, the movie shit, I love it too, and I love having people on. I hope you guys liked Brian. Brian thinks he's taken over hosting duties for my show for fucking some reason, because he's Brian, and he's the best that's ever been anything. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that show. We had a ball doing it. I was severely fucked up toward the end, but doing the question and answer, and my wife being there in the background throwing shit, and we drank way too much, and I hurt really, really bad the next day. I don't want to do that anymore. But that was fun, and every once in a while it's okay. Moderation, guys. Come on, man. But no, man, we're going to talk comic books. But back to the John Malin situation. He's the artist on cable right now. He's really coming under fire over some comments he made on Twitter. And I'm going to give you guys a little breakdown on how I feel about the social media spaces. I'm in them. I'm in the big three. Okay, we got the big two in comic books. We got the big three social media sites, and I'm going to tell you how I kind of navigate them. So, but we're going to get to all that. The chat's building up, guys. This is great. Introduce yourselves to one another. Argue. I always encourage argument in the chat. And it really sucks that Dennis isn't going to be here because Dennis usually starts shit with everybody. So I'm really, really sad to see Dennis leave. But but we're going to get it started. Like I said again, guys, for you guys that haven't watched the show before, this is kind of the calm before the storm, I like to call it. It's the live part. I'm getting ready to hit record on my audio software, and this will be what is on iTunes. iTunes. Why did I say it like that? iTunes. And this is what it'll be. This is what will go to our producer in the network. Oops. Oh, Phantom Power. That would help. Yes, 1, 2. And this, he'll clean it up and he'll add music and stingers and sound effects and all that shit. It's really cool. If you haven't listened to the iTunes stuff, you really should, because it's really professional, whereas I am not usually. So, microphone check. Yep, that sounds awesome. No, not really. All right. Mike Woodard, what's up, buddy? I hope you're feeling better, man. I'm going to give you some get well shout outs here in a minute. But this is the Blazing Defender Report 61. And got a live chat group going on already, man. So I'm very excited. Got some really cool stuff to talk about tonight. So with no further ado. And welcome, everyone, to another, hopefully, exciting episode of the Blazing Defender Report with your host, Travis Jones. That is me, the comic kamikaze, coming at you in 2018 with the first comic eccentric show of the new year. I'm so excited for this. I have a great show for you guys. I'm going to be talking about Rian Johnson. Yeah, he did that Star Wars movie that everybody's upset about. Me included. He did a podcast on Empire. We're going to be talking about that today. Ben Affleck may be leaving the Batman franchise or the Batman character before the Flashpoint movie. I got some inside scoop for you there. And John Malin. You may not know John Malin, but John Malin is the artist on Cable. He's did some other stuff in the past. He's evidently he's got quite a following, and he's really coming under fire over some comments he made about the SJWs. I didn't even know what the fuck that was, but now you're going to find out, like me, what an SJW is. And in comic reviews, I've got a perfect 10. I've got a 10, guys. This don't happen very often on the show, but and it's not from this week. Sad to say, it is not from this week, but it is from the past weeks. So, a lot of cool shit going on, man. I'm really excited to get talking about some of this. This is a very sticky point for me. And I'll tell you why in a second. But first of all, I want to say, I got to give a shout out to a huge sponsor of mine, Collector Zone. The sign up above my head. Yeah, Jason, I've given 10s. For you guys listening on the audio portion of the podcast, like on iTunes or on Stitcher or Blog Talk, I will be mentioning guys in the chat that are chatting in. I try to say what they said, and Jason just said, I don't think you ever have given a perfect 10. I have. I've given Rebirth to Zero was a 10, and I gave another 10. I should remember this. Was it Legacy number 1? It may have been Legacy number 1 I gave a 10 to. I just thought they were fantastic single issues. It's so hard to make a single. Oh, I know what it was. It was a Reborn number 1 by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. No, Mark Millar and Frank Capullo. I gave that first, and that series went to shit. Oh my God, that first issue was so good, and then it went to shit, dude. So yeah, so I have gave it some 10s. I give it a lot of thought, man, because that's the perfect comic book, right? And for this show, I like for it to be a comic book that anybody could pick up. Maybe you're a casual fan. We call them filthy casuals in the network, like Charles McFall. Don't say it, told him that. But yeah, so a perfect 10. I want this to be a comic book that anybody can go and pick up and go, whoa, dude, that was pretty good. They may not give it a perfect 10 because they're not a comic book person, but not the average comic book person they're going to like it. If you're a comic book person, you're going to shoot shit all over yourself because it's that fucking good. No, I've got one in this pile, guys. I think you're really going to like it. But first of all, I want to say Collector Zone. Guys, go to Collector Zone. I tell you what, you can go to collectorzone.com. It's fantastic. It's a one-stop shop for all your collectible needs. But this is what's cool about what they do as opposed to what some other companies do. Collector Zone Cantina. Okay, go to Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. Join the Cantina. It's for collectors, okay? And what that gives you is, it shows you what people are collecting. It shows you what people are getting from Collector Zone. And the owners of this company post and they comment and they're showing you what they got coming in. They've got giveaways. They do all kinds of really cool shit that no other company's doing, man. So I know I harp on this all the time, but this is one of the reasons that I feel so proud to be a part of these guys and a partnership with these guys because of that one-on-one experience. And I'm a collector guy. I collect. If I could fucking pan this camera around, you'd see like my fucking big ass Hulk back here. I collect all kinds of shit, man. Action figures, statues. Come on, dude. I get it all. I'm into all that shit. So are these guys. So Collector Zone. Go to collectorzone.com. Go to Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. You're gonna love them, guys. I promise you. You're gonna love them. And I'm going to be doing some giveaways on the show too. We're gonna bring the giveaways back. You all have asked for it. I'm going to do it just because I love you guys. I love you so much. Okay. Now another thing I want to shout out real quick is they're not on our network. Okay, I have been advised, and I the rule follower that I am, they're not on our network. But Geek versus Podcast. Check these guys out. Tony Henderson, Casey Oakes, and Betty Windsor. Betty's the funny one. Tony's the hot one. Okay, you're going to think Betty's hot, and you got it wrong. Check these three people out. They're fantastic. They have a great show. Would be a perfect fit for the Giant Size Team Up Network. I'm not saying they're part of our network. Officially, they're not a part of our network. I have said this on air. They're not a part of our network. But maybe one day we'll get lucky and they'll be a part of us. They have a great show, guys. Check those guys out on iTunes. I believe they have a YouTube channel as well. Check them out. Okay. And this is very dear to my heart. Please, please, please. Mike Woodard, my producer. He is my promoter also, goddammit. Mike Woodard, he's a fantastic human being. He had a medical setback a few weeks ago. He's doing better. Mike, for everybody here in the Blazing Nation, we wish you all the best, Mike. Please get better. This shit will be here for you. Don't worry about it. It ain't going nowhere. I will stack audio tracks up. I don't give a shit. You get better, man. We love you. I love you. I think you're a fantastic person. I've only met you one time, but we have known each other for a while now. And just get better, dude. That's all I want. I don't give a shit. If you never make another theme music for me, which you are amazing at, by the way, but just get better. And I know everybody here wishes you the same thing. And with that, guys, I am a proud member of the Giant Size Team Up Network. I am officially a part of this shit. I'm a GSTU soldier. We have some great shows. If you like this show, you're going to love some of the other shows. Botch, which I talked about earlier in the chat before I hit record. It is a D&D podcast. It is a fantastic show. It's one of the shows I listen to regularly. Breaking the Panel. Like I say, I devolve the conversation on this show. They evolve the conversation on their show. They talk about a lot. Anything you can shake the pop culture stick at. These guys are going to bring it up and they're going to talk about it. Casey Strohs is in the chat right now as one of the co-hosts. Fantastic guy. He's been on my show. You guys know him. But yeah, I love it. I really wish I could do more of what they do on this show, but I'm going to get to that on why I don't, because you need for you guys thinking about doing a podcast, you need a vision and you need to think about what your audience wants and what you want to do, to be honest. And I do. I get on rants. You guys know I do. And I might get on one earlier or in a minute. I don't want to, but it's just kind of me. But I'll tell you why I refrain from that stuff on the show here in just a second. Bear with me. But yeah, the Blazing Defender Report is comic news and reviews. I try to keep you guys up to date on what I thought was cool, what I seen, and the movie rumors, like, oh my God, Captain America's gonna die in Infinity War. No. Yeah, well, he may not die, but he might, and here's why. I like to do stuff like that just to keep you up to date. So when you're at work or you're at the water cooler and somebody says, hey man, did you hear about this shit going on in Infinity War? And you go, oh my God, I did. You really didn't, but you watched this show and it's all good. So yeah, so I try to keep you guys up to date on that. And hey, if you're thinking about dabbling in comic books, I want to put you in the right direction because there's a lot of shit out there. We're going to get to that in a minute too. Do you see where I'm going with all this? I'm trying not to bury the lead, guys, but it just happens sometimes. But there's a lot of shit out there, and I buy comic books every week. I want you to get the joy and satisfaction that I do in them, and I want to lead you in the right direction. Like you may like Spider-Man. I've used this analogy all the time. You may like Spider-Man. So you go to a comic book shop and you're like, hey man, I like Spider-Man comic books. And the nerd behind the desk goes, oh, okay, well, I have Spectacular Spider-Man. I have Spider-Man 2099. I have the Son of Spider-Man. I have a Black Spider-Man. I have a White Spider-Man. You're going to be fucking confused and probably go, fuck you, dude, and walk out. That's what I would do. So the reason I want to point you in the right direction is because there are so many choices. So I'm buying them. I'm reading them. I'm going to tell you what I think you might like. And I may be so on something, but I may say something that piques your interest. Like I have some superhero non-superhero books I'm going to talk about today. Kill or Be Killed. It's basically about an average dude that starts killing people because the demon tells him to. That's not really superhero oriented, but it's a fantastic book. It almost made my top books of 2017. It may make it this year because it started off really strongly. But that's what my show is, okay? I want you guys to be able to take a break, sit back, maybe laugh a little bit at some of the stupid shit I say and me mispronouncing words and making up my own vocabulary. I do it all the time. It's cool. Jason Jones is my editorial Nazi. He will let you know in the chat when I fuck up, which is prevalent and often. Sometimes it's on purpose. But, yeah, so that's the whole point of my show. Whereas Breaking the Panel, they get more into it. Paul, Klotz, and Casey and those guys, they're just on a different level than me. And I'm cool with that, man. I don't have to be the smartest dude. I don't want to be the smartest dude. There's a lot of pressure being smart. Yeah, being me, not a whole lot of pressure. But, yeah, so, okay. So, on the show today, we're going to talk about some comic books. We're going to talk about the Malin controversy. We're going to talk about SJWs, whatever the fuck that is. And I'm going to let you in on some movie news. All right, so let's just start with the Malin stuff because I want to kind of get this out of here. Casey Stroh said, just as long as you're the biggest dude. Well, being 240 in certain areas, it does help. Not so much sitting on a plane. That really sucks. But yeah, sometimes you don't have to be the smartest guy as long as you're the biggest guy. That is true. Size does matter in that instance, I hope. Okay, so this Malin controversy, I just want to touch on it. Because here's why. It gets very political. My show isn't about that, okay? I do want to make you aware that there is a comic controversy. Oh shit, CNN. Oh my God, MSNBC is going to go nuts. No, you'll never see it on there, guys. Just on the report. That's the only place you're going to hear this shit. But I do think it is newsworthy somehow. John Malin is the artist on cable, okay? And on Twitter, he fucked up. I'll be honest, John, you fucked up. I have two Twitter accounts. My personal account where I can say stupid shit because I'm me and I've got 6 followers. Nobody gives a fuck. I have a Blazing Defender Report account. It's all comic book stuff. It's all whatever I think's cool that I think you might think's cool. I post it. My personal shit is my personal shit. I watch Big Brother. I like the Oakland Raiders. I like the Duke Blue Devils. I don't post that shit on Blazing Defender Report. I post it on Cool Breeze 502 or 23, whatever I am, on Twitter. Okay? So, in saying that, John Malin, It is comic centric, but someone said that, and Casey, if Casey's still in the chat, he will correct me if I'm wrong. I listened to this podcast only once, and it's a podcast that needs to be listened to twice. John Malin on Twitter said that, or someone asked him about the X-Men being SJWs in today's time. Like the X-Men were in today's time, they would be SJWs. Now, I know, I hear you. I have an app that lets, when you all say shit into the phone out loud, it comes back to me and I hear it. I don't really. That would be cool as shit though, right? Google's doing it to us. Amazon's doing it. Why can't we listen in, right? No Duke stories. I promise, Jeff. No Duke stories. This is the show, right? See, I don't bring that shit here. That shit stays downstairs. So an SJW is a social justice warrior. Okay? Was news to me. Casey Strohs had brought this to my attention and wanted my take. I'm like, John Malin? Yeah, this dude on cable, right? Okay, let me check it out. He got a ton of shit for this Twitter comment when he said that, no, I wouldn't compare the X-Men to social justice warriors. I would compare them to the Jews in Nazi Germany because they were persecuted against. Okay? Yeah, that's what I always thought. Like, comic books will always mirror society. Okay? The Watchmen comic book, which is highly regarded as one of the best comic books ever written. It won literary awards. Yeah, imagine that shit. Okay? They teach college classes on the Watchmen. The freshmen at the high school that I substitute teach at on off day, they are reading The Watchmen, which, God, how I fucking would have loved to have that fucking job. Give me that job! Anyway, they didn't give me that job. Probably good thing they didn't give me that job. I had little kids on the podcast and stuff. But anyway, so they used that, the Cold War, to kind of propel their story. Like, people were in fear of the Cold War. Back in the early 80s, we were going to war with Russia. It was going to be nuclear fallout, nuclear war. We were all going to fucking die. Oh my God, take your clothes off. It's like spend all your money. So they used that. They mirrored society and told a story, a great story. Okay? So comic books will always mirror society. And the X-Men, to me, represented the discrimination of the blacks, of segregation, of all that stuff. That's who the X-Men were. Okay? They were different, and people looked at them differently because they had abilities, and they just looked different, and they did different, and they were dangerous, and oh my God. So, yeah, I agree with Malin to that extent. And he did say some shit that I didn't agree with, okay? He doesn't believe there's a wage gap for women. There's a wage gap for women, John. I hate to tell you that. Yeah, I get your point. They're not able to haul bricks and maybe raise 50-foot ladders on the fire department. But there still is a wage difference for women and where they are in corporate America. Okay? Whether we're not talking about anything else, there's a wage gap. It exists. It doesn't matter where it is, it exists. So his argument was flawed in some ways, but you got people calling for his job and everything else because of what he said. Okay? Now, it is in terms of social justice warrior. Now, again, I don't want to get political on the show because this isn't what my show's about. But a social justice warrior, it seems like, to me, is what they were saying is, it's somebody that picks up a cause and they will turn anything around to make their argument correct. Like, they take up the flag for, I don't know, I'm trying not to be politically incorrect or insensitive to anybody on the show, trying to get my point across. But it's like, you pick up a flag and say, oh my God, redheaded, freckled people are being prosecuted in America, which we are, goddammit. And you turn everything around to make your point true, so gingers are gentrified. See what I did there? Come on, Jason. You gotta give me some... I just did that on the fly, man. Like, I didn't write that shit down or nothing. That's fucking good. But anyway, so yeah, so... Now, I believe there are people out there that pick up these these causes because they really in their heart want to do good. And dude, I don't want to see anybody fucking persecuted. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. Jason said mad props. So yeah. The guy that gets on me all the time for fucking shit up, I actually did something good today. So my point being is that if you're being persecuted for any reason, it's just fucking wrong. And we all know what happens. Women are persecuted in the workforce. Blacks are persecuted. Mexicans are persecuted. And white people can sometimes be discriminated against. I know. I said it. And this is what I think some of his point was. You can't even have the conversation about this, or you become a radical conservative or a racist or a fucking Nazi. No. When I see a black guy that has and when I say black guy, I mean somebody like we've seen on the news that has multiple felony accounts. He's out. He has a warrant out for his arrest. Police approach him. He resists that arrest, and they shoot him because he was going for their gun. You deserve to get shot, bro. I'm sorry. Okay? So, does that make me a racist? But people will say that, oh my God, no, dude. The cops got it out for them. They're gunning young black men down everywhere. No, they're not. They're not. I'm not saying it don't happen, and I'm not saying there aren't cops out there that don't have agendas and prejudice. I know there are. I've worked with some. Okay? It's everywhere. So to villainize a profession that puts their lives on the line, it's just fucking wrong. You need to identify the problems. And that's not what we're doing in America, I feel. Now, I think John Malin made some great points throughout this podcast, and he made some bad ones, like we all do. He's not a public speaker. But where I think that... that's funny. What I think the main argument of his interview with Jonathan Van Scribner was what's happening in comic books. Comic books are dying. They are. The numbers tell the story, guys. Comic book sales are down horribly. Okay? And I don't understand why. I do, in a way. The movies have become so uber popular, you think it would just transition to comic book sales. It has and it hasn't. Okay? So, I don't know what the answer is, but I know it's not changing storylines to appeal a certain group. That's not it. We always call it the big two, Marvel and DC, right? So when you're being told that you can't put dreadlocks on a white character because it gives the wrong message, that's not being creative. That's not... I don't understand that logic. And they're getting away from putting women with boobs, on covers. All right, this is not comic books. And Casey had made the comment when we were talking about this earlier on Facebook that John Malin doesn't get that comic books are supposed to be progressive. I don't think he meant that. I don't. They are supposed to be progressive, and they will be progressive. There's no way around that, I don't think. But I think what he's trying to say is people's political agendas editorially, okay, in comic books is affecting the creative product. And we're not getting that. We're not getting Wolverine slashing people apart like we were. We're not getting a gun-toting Punisher, a hard-hitting Punisher series, because of maybe some people that have agendas. Okay? I don't know. I'm just assuming the things that John Malin says are true. Now, I will revert you back to my interview with Peter David that wrote the Hulk for 10 years that I did at Dragon Con. It's a pinned post on my Facebook page. That dude was fantastic in telling you the behind the scenes shit that was going on 20 years ago. It's kind of the same thing. Okay? Editorial had agendas, political or otherwise. and they moved people around. They moved him around. They didn't like something that he pitched. They threw him off of the Hulk that he was on for 10 years and won awards for. They threw him off Spider-Man because a buddy of Jim Shooter's wanted Spider-Man. He tells you all that. So for me to think what John Maylin's saying is bullshit, I disagree. I think there is truth to that in the industry. I'm not in the industry, so I can only say what I heard. Okay, now there were some things that he kind of rambled on about. It was like a podcast. They did it like 2 a.m. And then let me also say this: Ethan Van Scribner, I'm going to start listening to his show. Okay, I will never put a podcast out because I feel like it just has to be done. I'm not going to do that. I want you guys to enjoy it. And even talking about this shit, I feel like I'm bringing the tone down of my show. That's the reason I don't talk about this shit, right? But I do feel like it was worth mentioning because it is comic book related. And 2018 needs to be a big year for comic books. It just really does. You've got comic book shops closing, and it's just not a good place for comic books right now. When Casey and I did the best comics of 2017 show, Casey and I both were like, man, it was really a bad year for comic books. Now, some of it was great, and some of them I love. And it's always going to be that way. But I should have had a harder time picking my top 10 than I did. You know what I mean? And what's behind that? I don't know. I think there's several factors, but I'm not saying that people in editorial having agendas isn't one of them. So, enough of that shit, right? Let's get negative on something else. Let's get negative on this Rian Johnson fucker that fucked up our Star Wars for our childhood, right? Yeah, and if you got any comments on the John Maylin thing, I posted the podcast that him and Ethan Van Scribner are on the Facebook page, the Blazing Defender Report. Check that out. Comment, hit me up. We can revisit this. Yeah, Jason Jones said more or less comic shops are there for gaming anymore. Maybe. The comic shop that I go to now doesn't even do gaming. They don't do it. I think he's got an old, you know what, Dan? I need to ask you about that because there's an old crusty chessboard on your rack, and I'm like, who the fuck's going to buy that old shit chessboard? But anyway, that's the only game he has in the whole place. He's moving to a brand new building and everything. He's doing pretty well. Now, he may be missing out on gaming, but like Dan will tell you, like I will, I don't do it. I don't board game. I don't either. Okay? I video game, but I don't board game. So he's like, I don't do it. So I'm not going to sell it. So I respect that, right? Go somewhere else. And they probably will. But yeah, but Jason, we need to get people back. And that's one of the reasons I did the show. I want people to get back into the comic shop. I thought, yes, vintage comic prices are through the roof, Jeff. You're all right. Get them online. Read that shit online. Okay? Pick up a new book. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. I'm trying to get you to pick up Kill or Be Killed. I'm trying to get you to read the Star Wars comics. I'm trying to get you to read Batman. There you go. If your Panther's coming out, this is a perfect time to get on top of Black Panther. Even though I think the book sucks. Tashiki Coates can't write his way out of shit. He's a novelist that's trying to do comic books and he ain't doing it well. That's another commentary for another show. But yeah, so yeah, I mean it's it dips and valleys, right? Rises and falls. Let's just hope we get an uptick soon. And that's what I want. I just hope for that. But yeah, back to Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson was on the Empire podcast. Okay, now I got to give Rian Johnson some props. Even though I want to throat punch that motherfucker for this movie, I had to give him some props because he is. Yeah, speaking of SJW, I want to get out there. He's getting out there and defending his movie. Okay, he's proud of what he put out there and he's defending it, and I give him a lot of credit for that. I do. Still want to kick him in the nuts, no doubt. But on the Empire podcast, he said that he wrote down, he made a list of who Rey's parents could be. He made a list of all the possibilities. And he came up with, they shouldn't be anybody. That was the best decision to make. I wish he was on my fucking show. Hey, Ryan, if you're out there, nut up and be on the report. Because I would have grilled the dog shit out of him if he'd have told me that. Like, hey, it's your movie. It's your creative process. Fucking yeah. I'm going to tell you why it sucks. And that sucked, dude. That sucked. And you mean to tell me that you went through and you thought of multiple storylines on who Ray's parents could have been, and you came up with, they shouldn't be anybody. Oh, that'll grab them. That'll knock the popcorn out of their hands. Get the fuck out of here, Ryan Johnson. So, yeah, I don't understand it. Check it out. The Empire Podcast with Ryan Johnson. It's worth a listen. The guy sounds cool as shit. Like, I love drinking beer with him. But, again, we're going to drink a few beers, and I'm probably going to throat punch you by the end of the beer. But, yeah, I don't understand that thought process at all. Now, we can Monday morning quarterback that movie to death, and we did. A good friend of mine, Brian Elder, and I, the first show of the year for me was the review show. Had a ball doing it. Paid for it miserably the next day. Oh, my God, I was so hungover. But that was a lot of fun. For you guys listening on the audio, we did a question and answer even after the 2-hour show, and we just had a ball. I mean, it was fantastic, great time, and I want to thank everybody in the chat for that. That was a really, really good time for us. But yeah, so he also said in that podcast, how Luke, like everybody's been asking him, like the whole force projection thing, like where did you get that at? And on Twitter, he actually pulled out a handbook. It's called The Jedi Path, a manual for students of the Force. In the section Advanced Force Techniques, you find the Force-powered doppelganger, a Jedi trick that allows a short-lived duplicate, okay, to be, you see a short-lived duplicate, okay? Yeah. You might have stretched that out a little bit, dude. You force projected a doppelganger halfway across the galaxy, okay? And not only did you do that, you fought another Jedi with a lightsaber and everything. I mean, I get it. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, when all the AT-ATs and everything are fired down at Luke, and Luke walks out and's like this, it's dope. Hey, motherfucker, I was on the edge of my seat too going, oh shit. Hey, yes, Marcos. I'm just talking about the Ryan Johnson podcast on Empire. But he's talking about what the reason he did the things he did, which I gave him mad props for. But now I'm just kind of like, I mean, I get your reasoning, but it's not sound reasoning. But yeah, so you're fighting a Jedi with a doppelganger, and you're actually striking lightsabers. How does Kylo not go right through it? You know what I mean? Like, how is that possible? Whatever. But like I said, he is going on these podcasts, and he is defending his product, which I give him mad respect for. So, yeah, I don't understand how you do the lightsaber strikes. But enough of Ryan Johnson. I think we're going to be talking about him till the next movie comes out. And then he's doing the next fucking 3. So Ryan Johnson's going to be on this podcast for a while. Sorry. You trust me. I don't like it fucking either. Okay, Brian. Brian O'Neill says in the chat that the lightsabers never touched. Are you sure? Are you sure they never touched? I know Luke did a lot of moving around. Now, if they did not touch, I thought I distinctly heard them touch. And it was from a shot that was far away. And Kylo was coming down, and Luke blocked it. Okay, Brian says he's positive. I will take that. Okay, then that makes a lot more sense. It's still not a short-lived duplicate, but this is what I give Ryan Johnson credit for. He actually did some research, came up with something really cool. Okay, now I didn't know Luke was going to die after it. That sucked. But I thought that was pretty cool. I really did. Okay, Luke dodged everything. All right, well, we'll take that. So maybe I won't throat punch Ryan Johnson as hard. Because he still killed Luke after it when Leia resurrected herself in space, and Space Ghost is back, and then she's shooting Poe Dameron 5 minutes later, and Luke's dead. But whatever. We're not doing that show again. Ben Affleck, okay? Moan and grow all you want. I don't give a shit. He is the best cinematic Batman we've had. Michael Keaton was good. Christian Bale was good. Ben Affleck is the best cinematic Batman we've had. Suck it. I don't give a shit. There is really... I'll hear an argument. You're wrong. But I'll hear an argument on why he's not. But it is very sad to me that he is probably going to be leaving the franchise, even though I swore that he probably wouldn't. And the Flashpoint movie that DC is still scheduled to do, where they're going to basically restart the DC universe. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, it's happening. It looks like Batman's not even going to make it to that. It looks like Ben Affleck is going to depart the Batman or the DC franchise after Suicide Squad 2, which starts shooting in March. So, will we see Batman versus Harley Quinn and Jared Leto Joker? I don't know. Will they kill him? I don't know. But that will be the end of Ben Affleck's Batman. It's called Batman on Film. It's a website. It's a Twitter page. They have been right about everything. Like, everything so far. And I was really shocked when I seen them say this, and I was like, oh, god damn it. Like, they said it, then when people were saying he wouldn't be in the Justice League even, they were like, no, he will be in the Justice League. But they were also the first to say that the standalone Batman movie may not be him. And it looks like that's going to be true, too. So, that really sucks. I hate that, but it is what it is. I was going to review Gotham by Gaslight, which is the animated movie where Batman takes on Jack the Ripper. Sounds fucking awesome. I want to see it so bad. It came out on digital. It's not on DVD yet, but it is on digital. I was going to review it, but I have not seen it yet. I really wanted to have time today to see it, but I did not. So if anybody has seen it, no spoilers, but just tell if it's good or bad or not, and give us a score. That'd be great. The Gifted. If anybody's watching The Gifted on TV, it's basically the New Mutants, and it's got Blink, Thomas Proudstar. Is it Proudstar or it's not Thomas Proudstar? That was yes, Jeff. Jeff is talking about Batman Ninja. Batman Ninja looks incredible, and on my Fire Stick the other day, there was actually a pretty decent copy on there. And I was at the firehouse, and I watched like the first 12, 13 minutes of it, and it's amazing. The opening scene is fantastic. Had subtitles, which I was cool with, and I figured it would. And then we made a run, and when I came back, the stream was down. And I couldn't get the stream back, so I was pretty upset about it. But that looks fantastic. I'm really digging the samurai anime take on Batman, but I think it looks really, really good. But back to The Gifted. The season's over, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be bullshit, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I love the characterization. The Furnace Twins, I think, are really, really cool. Bill from the vampire show that was on HBO. Jesus Christ, I can't think of the name of it now. But a big line of books. He's in it. Bill the Vampire's in it. Because my wife was like, it's Bill. And I'm like, yeah, it's Bill. They're all really good. The production value sometimes isn't so good. It's like it changes from show to show to me. I'm like, god damn, that was sucked. And then the next episode, I'm like, holy shit, that was pretty fucking cool. And I really liked the way they ended the season. They ended the season on a fucking high note. Yes, Jason. Jason said it's a slow burn on the show, but when the Cuckoo Sisters showed up, it really stepped up. I totally agree. Totally agree with that statement. They, like, when she inserted herself, she was kind of a spy, she was leading them down the wrong road. That was really cool, and I had no idea who she was going to be. And then her sisters show up, and you're like, oh my gosh, the fucking Cuckoos. So, really cool. Hellfire Club and all that. I love that. True Blood. Thank you, Dave. Yes, True Blood Bill. Yes, he was from True Blood. Bill the Vampire. I can't think of his name, but he's the father of the Furnace twins, or Fairness twins, or whatever. They're going to be pretty cool characters, I think. Some good actors, man, and the special effects, like when they use their abilities, I think will look really, really, really good. So yeah, but check that out if you haven't seen it. I think it's worth a watch. I mean, don't not watch Stranger Things or Peaky Blinders or something to watch it. But yeah, check it out. It's pretty good. But yeah, here we go. Okay, now we're gonna get to some comic books. This dude, I'm hyped. I got a 10 to talk about. It ain't even my pick of the week because it's from the past weeks. So I'm gonna mention it soon, not first, but I'm gonna mention it soon because there were some really good books from the past 2 weeks, and I really want to make sure you guys get those. But before we do that, since we're talking about dying comic shops, how you like that segue? No, really, guys. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, the Zone Comic Shop on Hubbard's Lane is a great comic shop, and it's about to get even better. I know comic shops supposedly aren't doing real well right now, but Dan's doing really well. They're moving to a new location, still on Hubbard's Lane. The building looks great. He sent me pictures of it. It looks fantastic. I'm gonna be doing some live shows there, so I'm really excited. We're gonna put that stuff up and we're gonna get a real cool backdrop, and there's gonna be some Blazing Defender pics on the board. It's gonna be really, really cool, man. I can't wait. But yeah, check him out. He's having a 25-year anniversary. I know you're going to be like, wait a minute. Didn't you just have a 10-year anniversary? Will we Time Warp? What the fuck is this shit? Yes, we did Time Warp. You're watching Sirius Radio right now. I'm on Sirius now. No. God, that'd be fucking awesome, wouldn't it? But no, Dan, it was the 10-year anniversary of him owning the shop. The shop has been in Louisville for 25 years. Which is pretty big deal. He's going to have a big sale. I'm going to give you more on that as it comes to me. He's really wanting to make this major. I mean, like, Dan really likes selling shit. Like, he's Jewish and he loves selling shit, and he really gets jacked up about a big sale. And his last sale was amazing. This sale is going to be pretty good. I don't know what he's got left in the store, honestly, after the last sale, but he'll have some new shit. But check out the Zone Comic Shop on Hubbard's Lane. If you see Dan, he's a little short fella with glasses, smack him, tell him the Blazing Defender sent you. So, comic books on review. From the past weeks, I'm going to be talking The Walking Dead, which to Marcos' chagrin, Doomsday Clock, and Batman 37. Okay? Now, you're going to be like, uh-oh, one of those is a perfect 10. And you would be correct. One of them is. Alright, take a drink on this one. Alright, guys. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Doomsday Clock. Guys, if you're not reading the Doomsday Clock, you seriously need to be. If you're a Watchmen fan, you seriously need to be reading this book. This book is fantastic. It's only in its second issue. First one was amazing. I had my doubts. Blew me out of the water. This one is great. Now you're going to be like, what the fuck is that shit? Okay, they introduced 2 new characters in issue 1. All right, one of them is called the Marionette, and the other one is the Mime. The Mime is absolutely nuts. They're bank robbers, and in this issue, you get why Ozymandias wants these 2 to help get Dr. Manhattan back. Because you're like, why did he break them out of jail? We've got Rorschach back, and you're like, well, wait a minute, Rorschach died. This is not the original Rorschach. This is a new Rorschach who is black. We don't know his identity yet, but in issue 1, he revealed himself to Marionette because she was like, you're dead. Who are you? And he's still talking like Rorschach and everything, and he knows Vite, which is Ozymandias. So Ozymandias is like, I've got to get Manhattan back here. Okay? He's got to save this world. So they end up jettisoning through time in a dimension. He tracks the tachyons and finds where Manhattan is. Lo and behold, he lands right here in the DC universe. Okay, so you got Ozymandias, Marionette, Mime, and Rorschach, new Rorschach, Faux Shack is what I'm calling him. And yes, John. John said, mines are almost as creepy as clowns. They are. And this dude is like, he's like the Joker, but he doesn't say anything. He's got this crazy, wicked smile. Yeah, it's my Joker imitation. It's pretty good. I kind of creep myself out. Ooh, I don't like that. But yeah, he's real creepy. And like, he's always doing this shit. And you're like, motherfucker, that's not even a gun. But for some reason, you're scared because this dude he's whacked out. Marionette does all the talking, and she's a psychopath too. But you find out why Veidt needed them to get Manhattan back. Manhattan foils a bank robbery, and he's ready to fucking blow the mime. The mime's like this to Manhattan. You know, and she's like, no, don't kill him. If you kill him, you gotta kill me too. And Manhattan hears the thump, thump, thump in her belly. Realizes that she's pregnant. Doesn't kill her. So, I don't know what Veidt's overall plan is. He's the smartest guy in the world, apparently. Not too smart. But he is in the DC universe. And what makes this book even better, Batman is in there. And he's doing Bruce Wayne shit. And at the I don't want to give it away, but at the very end, Rorschach and Veidt are in the Batcave. And the next, Rorschach turns around, and he's nose to nose with Batman. So yeah, man, it's kind of like really, really cool. Yes, Jason, that was a very cool scene. Jason brings up the fact that Luthor and Batman were talking shit to each other, which is, yes, they were. And that was a great scene too. I'm telling you, man, this book, I love it. Like, I see it on the shelves, I'm like, oh, fucking Doomsday Clock. So it's fantastic, man. If you're a Watchmen fan like I am, and you're wondering how they were going to interject them into the DC universe and it not be weird or stupid, they're doing it. Now, we're 12. This is the second issue. We've got 10 more to go, which can be, fuck yeah, or it can be, oh, god damn it, you fucked it up again. So we'll find out. So, very good book. What did I give it? A 9. That's a 9.0, man. That's a solid book, guys. Let me see if I missed anything real quick. Nope, I pretty much nailed it all. I try not to give the spoilers away. I'm not your typical reviewer. I should have said that earlier. Like, I'm not going to be talking about, and the art. The art is Gary Frank, which a buddy of mine, a Big Sam that does the Meatheads on Movie Show with me sometimes, he hates Gary Frank. And I'm like, Gary Frank it's fantastic. This art is amazing. I love it. But I'm not the kind of guy that's going to go, oh, Gary Frank's use of shadow really gives to the ambiance of Gotham City. And I'm not going to fucking do that shit. I don't care about that shit. I'm going to be looking at it going, oh, God, it's awesome. That's just me, man. And I hope that's you, too. Yes, Casey, yes. Dude, I wrote that down. I got to show you. Yes, dude, I'm so glad you said that. A great image of Archimedes coming through a cloud while the bat signal is lit up on it. I had that, dude. Yes, thank you for reminding me. How awesome was that scene? You know what? I'm going to show it to you. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, you got to pay for this, dude. I'm going to show you guys. Sorry, audio listeners. That's the reason you should watch the Facebook show. Just saying. No, this is a great image. Here it is. There. Ooh, and I'm going to do it like a movie. Oh, the bat signal on a cloud. Oh, it lights up. Oh, what is hit? The bat signal lights up? No, it don't. No, it don't. It's Archimedes. Yay, Archimedes is coming through. Then it hits a building. So, yeah, man, that was a great image. There's tons of images like that. And if you're a fan of The Watchmen, and especially in that first issue, and watch what Gary Frank does with the paneling to the original Watchmen, it's bone-chilling. Is that, I mean, I'm a fucking nerd, ain't I? Yeah, I said bone-chilling, talking about panel setup. What the fuck? What is wrong with me? No, but it is fantastic, guys. Please read them. Please get the Doomsday Clock. You're going to love it. Superman's coming, guys. It's going to be Superman in Manhattan, dude. God against God. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to love it. Okay. Now, Marcos' favorite book. I'm doing this for you, buddy. I know you'll love it. The Walking Dead 175. Now, take a good look at that cover. Okay? This is a part of, what's it called? The New World Order. It's right there, stupid. This is the first part, 1 to 6. This is a great jumping on point, guys, for you new people that want to read The Walking Dead. You love the show. I love the show. Totally different. Totally fucking different. Not totally different. Kind of different. So, enough different. How about that? Enough different. Dude. This book. Oh my God. Alright, like, I'm no Kevin Smith. Okay? I'm 240. I'm 5'11", 240, and I'm jacked. I don't cry a lot. No, it's that. I do cry, but not a lot. I don't cry like Kevin Smith. Let's put it that way. At the end of this book, I was bawling up. I was like, holy shit, fuck, no way. Now, and I honestly don't think it would have hit me emotionally like it did if I had not watched the TV show. Okay? Chappelle's Walking Dead was out there. That's funny. Dude, I'm telling you, this book here. Okay, synopsis. Rick and them are back in Mayberry. Wherever they're... Alexandria. Alexandria is not gone. Okay, in the comic book. They're rebuilding. They're doing all their shit. Michonne and a few other people, Maggie, a few other people, have taken off with Eugene. Eugene has been talking to a lady on his little radio that he built, a little two-way radio that he built. He's been talking to a lady for several issues now. She won't talk to him very long because she's like, man, you sound really nice, but I can't trust you. And Eugene's kind of like, yeah, we've had some bad luck with people too. Okay, that's went on for several issues. Well, now she says she's ready to meet them. She thinks their community is ready to meet a few representatives of Eugene's committee. Okay? Eugene's like, I'm doing it. Michonne's like, well, you're not doing it by yourself. Well, along the way, they pick up this chick called the Princess. I really, really hope the Princess makes it to the TV show because she's fantastic. The Princess is the type of character that the show badly, badly needs. Okay? All right. So, they're on the way. Well, lo and behold, these dudes with their gear and their fucking badass weapons and their badass shit show up and basically take them. They're like, hey, it's a vetting process. Okay? It's not nice. It ain't pretty. It just needs to be done. It's not nothing unlike Rick would do to a new member. So they introduce this guy. He's so fucking creepy. He's awesome. I picture, oh God, I had his name wrote down because I want you guys to visualize this. Michael Emerson from Lost. He was actually in Persons of Interest also. Michael Emerson, he's kind of a little geeky guy with glasses. He was Benjamin Linus on Lost. He would be perfect for this dude. This guy is basically surrounded by all these armed guys, and he's giving orders. But you can tell he's kind of weaselly. But he told him, he goes, if you don't do what you say, they're going to shoot you in the face. So it's up to you. All right? I got to ask you some questions. And they do this. And it's a vetting process. Okay? And Michonne and them are pretty outdone with it. And Eugene the whole time is like, where's Sarah? Where's fucking Sarah? Sarah, who's the one I talked to, and he's like, yeah, well, Sarah's not here, and you can't talk to her yet, so deal with it. And then they basically told him they wouldn't let him leave, because they already knew too much. So you got to play along or die, all right? So as this goes along, now they've vetted them, okay, we think you guys can see what we do. They have a community. They're called the Community. 50,000 people. Now we're talking about in the land of the lost. Or no, I'm sorry, the land of the Walking Dead, right? So they see this big stadium and Princess goes, oh, y'all have a stadium? Oh, y'all are in a stadium. Y'all have repurposed the stadium as your colony. He goes, no, it's where we play football. And we have some hockey. And we have concerts. And they're like, you have concerts? He goes, yeah, it's nobody that you've heard of before the outbreak, but we've got some pretty talented people. I think you'll like them. Pretty different, right? Okay, now I'm getting to it, guys. This thing, I ain't tearing up at that shit. Even though if I was in the apocalypse and they told me I could see a concert, I ain't give you. Dude, I didn't give a shit who it was. I'd be like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm crying. So now, then they come up on a wall, all right? And Michonne is like, what's that? And the Benjamin Linus dude, which I don't know his name, maybe they said it in this issue, I don't know. But he goes, oh, that's the wall of the missing. We call it the wall of the missing. It's basically people in our community put pictures up of loved ones that they're wanting to find. We've never found anybody in I think it's 2.5 years of the outbreak, right? So they all walk over to the wall. It's reminiscent of the wall of 9/11. If you've ever seen the wall at 9/11 with all the people that are gone or never found, it's very reminiscent of that. And everybody's looking at it and everything. And Michonne's kind of over it. Like, she's like, I just want to get to where we're fucking going so I can get back and tell Rick and them, right? Well, they're like, Eugene's like, Michonne, you need to come see this. And she's like, why? I don't need to see it. And they're like, no, you need to come see this. The next page is a picture of Michonne before the outbreak. And it says, have you seen my mommy? Call this number. Dog, I got cold chills. Just saying it out loud. It was awesome. Awesome page. And Michonne's face is like, what the fuck? So maybe the first person in 2 years that will be reunited with somebody they haven't seen since the fall is Michonne and her daughter. So pretty cool shit, man. I'm telling you what, Robert Kirkman may be a huge dickwad, but the motherfucker can write and he can show human emotion. Hey, you ain't going to read it if I just told you. Marcos is giving me shit because I spoiled his favorite comic book. You wouldn't have read it. I'm telling, dude, this is the Walking Dead comic, though. This is a very special issue, mind you. They're all great, and they all hit on some type of human emotion. Robert Kirkman can do it, man. Your boy Alderman, the way that he emotes, he can get characters to emote emotion is fantastic. I don't read. Yeah. So if it happens on The Walking Dead, I might have spoiled it. Sorry. But just fantastic issue, guys. 9.5. It had humor. There's a lot I didn't tell you too, damn it. But yeah, that ending, man. Wow, you want to talk about whack right in the fucking throat, man. It was awesome. Great comic. Still was not my 10 though, yo. Still was not my 10. I'm getting to that. All right, let's fucking do it, yo. Let's do it. Oh, that's not it. Man, that's a good comic book too, I'm telling you. Alright. Batman. Shocker, right? 37. Double date. And I know you're going, what? What are you, dude? What are you trying to pass off on us, dude? You're weak. Alright. This is a 10. Give you the synopsis. I might spoil some shit, Marco, so don't listen. Okay. Date night. Selena Kyle, Bruce Wayne, Clark, Lois, double date. Clark is like, what? You're marrying fucking Selena Kyle? No, you're not. You're Batman. You fight criminals. She is a criminal. Therefore, you cannot be together. No. He's like, no. Like, Batman's very stoic. No. Alright? So they go to a fair. They're going to go to this carnival. It's a carnival fair, whatever. Well, they get to the front, and the dude's like got Superman outfit on. And he's like, hey, it's a cosplay only fair. It's the only way you can get in. Sorry, you can't get in. So, funny, right? He's telling these two, you don't have an outfit, you can't get in. All of them, really, besides Lois. So they're like, Bruce is like, fuck it, we ain't going. And Selena's like, no, you're gonna go because your fiance's starving, and it ain't like you guys don't have outfits. Well, Clark looks at him and goes, yeah, but we can't go as ourselves. So the next panel is Bruce in the Superman outfit, Clark in the Batman outfit, and not only is Clark in the Batman outfit, but he eats his glasses on the outside of the cow. Fantastic scene. Okay, so now we're inside. Well, now Lois and Selena are chatting it up as chicks would do on a date. You know, the dudes are kind of hanging out, the girls are getting to know each other, right? They're playing games. Bruce is killing Clark at carnival games. Now, why is that? Why is Bruce killing? Because carnival games are all rigged, right? Superman's playing it straight because he's the straight guy. Batman is winning everything because he knows it's rigged, because that's how Batman would play it. Fantastic. So then they get into an argument about if Batman could hit a baseball off of Superman if he pitched it. All right. Seems kind of like a no-brainer. Of course you couldn't. And even Selena's like, there's no way. So Batman, knowing Superman has super hearing, tells her he couldn't throw it as hard as he could throw it because the ball would unravel at a certain speed. So there would be no ball for me to hit. That ain't fair. So he can't throw it that hard. And he knows Clark is listening. Okay, so they go through this almost the whole issue. And you think you're never going to see it. I'll tell you what, I won't spoil that. You might see that and you might not. You might get the answer to it and you might not. I don't know. You got to find out. It's pretty awesome. I'll tell you that. So anyway, the main nuts and bolts of this story is the Batman-Superman dynamic, which has always been one of my favorites. It's like the light and the dark. They both respect the shit out of what the other one brings to the table. They're brothers, man. They're fucking bros. And, you know, yeah, they fight. And guess what? Brothers fight sometimes. Don't mean they don't love each other, but they still fucking fight. And I love it. Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness probably did it the best. Tom King has done it maybe the second best in this issue. There's just, you can feel the camaraderie. Superman's trying to talk him out of marrying Selena. Batman is telling him why he's going to. It totally makes sense. And Superman, being the big bro he is, accepts it. It's really fantastic and funny. And I tell you, the non-spoiler part of this is they're not even the stars of the issue. Lois and Selena are. They are fantastic in this issue. And that's, Tom King does that, man. His style of writing is so fantastic. I love it. Even though he's doing some things right now that I do not like at all. Mr. Miracle sucks. But this, he has made Batman his own character. Tom King's Batman, I mean. So, just fantastic issue. 10 out of 10. Anybody can pick up this issue. You don't have to know anything that happened beforehand. And you're going to go, holy shit. It hits you on an emotional level. You're going to laugh. And you're going to go, whoa, at the end. I'm not going to tell you, Marcos. I'm not telling you. All right. But that, I had to get that book in there today, guys, because it was that good. Please read it. Fucking read it online. If you don't buy it, this book needs to be read. Let me know what your thoughts. Batman 37 Double Date. Really, really good. Okay. Now, is that all for the books of the past week? It is. Okay, new books. I got some good ones. And I got some ones that ain't so good. Okay. We're going to start with the ones that ain't so good. And for all you people that think I fanboy shit, which I do. I'm a fanboy. I can't fucking help it. I am. And how many times have I told you need to be reading this comic book? I don't know. 1,000 times. If you're a Star Wars fan, you need to be reading Star Wars books. Now, Jason Aaron, which is one of my favorite writers, he was on the Star Wars books for a long time. When he left the book, Karen Gillan came on. I was pretty excited about Karen Gillan coming on. I'm not going to lie. She done some great stuff on Darth Vader. He done some great stuff on Darth Vader. I believe he did the Poe Dameron book. He did another book. I'm not sure if it was Lando. No, Charles Soule did Lando. Whatever. He did another book. He was a great fit for the Star Wars book. All right. Now, what's made this book really cool is it's from the events of Rogue One. All right. The planet is still wrecked. You still have the Rebel Alliance from Saw Gerrera. that is still fighting the Empire. They're still trying to mine kyber crystals. The Empire is still trying to mine kyber crystals. Our group of rebels, Han Solo, Leia, Luke, Chewbacca, R2, C3, they're all there to try to stop this and help these very militant Saw Gerrera rebels. So seeing the fallout from Rogue One is very, very cool, and how it's affected Luke. Like, Luke is finally starting to get, even after he's blown up a Death Star, mind you, he's finally starting to see the ravages of war and what the Empire can do. That's been very cool. There's been 4 issues of this shit. It's time to fucking move on, Karen. Just saying. There is a great moment here where Luke is reminiscing about when he blew up the Death Star, about how he turned off the targeting system. And this chick's like, what? What'd you do? He goes, I don't know. I just knew it was the right thing to do when I did it. But if I'd have known what Jen and her people had done, her group had done to get those plans to me, I don't know if I could have done that. The pressure would have been too great. And then Leia starts to talk about the end of Rogue One when Vader comes through like a fucking demon and is slicing everybody up. Arguably the best 5 minutes in cinema. She brings that up, talking about how all the Space Marines fought to buy time to get those plans away from Vader. So she's like, that's what heroes do. You pass the baton and you hope someone is there to pick it up. When Jern Erso and them got those plans out of the plans to destroy the Death Star, they knew they probably wouldn't make it, but they were hoping somebody picked it up and could finish the mission. Luke did that. So all that's very cool, right? Yeah, I need more. I need more story. The reminiscing of that stuff is great. I love it how they're interjecting the movies in the comic books. I've been waiting for that. And hopefully one day, vice versa. Fuck you, Ryan Johnson. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to give it a 7. Salvador Larroca's art, he's still doing that computer imaging shit with the faces. It's a very, like, you've got this comic book body, and then you got a real face. It's more distraught than what I just did on camera. So yeah, I don't know. I've been very disappointed in Star Wars. Let's put it that way. As cool as it can be, I feel like they're really missing out on opportunities, a la Last Jedi. But yeah, I think that they need to pick it up. I really need them to pick it up. Okay, now, dude, the next 3 are fucking great this week. The Mighty Thor 703, The Death of the Mighty Thor. Okay, now you're looking at the back of a real bad motherfucker. He is Magog. And Magog is basically the incarnation of a billion tortured souls. It's time for the gods to pay. And Magog is here to basically destroy all the gods. So, and he's doing it. He bashed War Thor last issue. Like, War Thor is basically, Volstagg is basically on his last breath. He's a god, so I think he's going to pull through. But beat the shit and back. He's in a fucking hospital bed. And you've got Jane Foster, who, for those of you who don't know, is the Mighty Thor. She's been the Mighty Thor, but her mortal body is ravaged by cancer. She's been missing her treatments. As long as she holds the hammer and she's Thor, the cancer does not grow, it does not metastasize, it does not affect her. The moment she's not Thor, it comes back with a vengeance. So she's basically killing herself by not treating her cancer. This issue is a lot of familiar faces from the Marvel Universe basically having an intervention with her saying, look, you're going to fucking die if you don't stop this shit. Now, what's cool about that is you're like, yeah, it's awesome you want her to be good, but there's a dude that is killing innocent people, like a monster that's killing innocent people, and maybe only Thor can take her out. So there's a real battle with Jane Foster. She struggles with, do I fight my cancer? Do I fight my own personal battle? Or do I help the 10 realms, which I've sworn to do? And there's a really, I mean, like, dude, I'm not Kevin Smith, guys, so just don't even. I didn't cry, but it did tug on my heartstrings. There's a scene where she's in her hospital bed. She knows that Asgard is being wiped out. Like, Magog wipes Asgard out. Spoiler alert, he wipes it out. And she, like, calls for the hammer. The hammer shows up, and Thor, the Odinson, our Thor, stops it. And he's like, you stop, you wretched, vile thing. Like, he's blaming Mjolnir for Jane Foster deteriorating. You know, he still loves Jane, regardless of what their history has been the last few years. So that got me, man, because, dog, Thor and Mjolnir, that's peanut butter and jelly, bro. That's it, man. That's salt and pepper. Those go together. And he was basically like, no, you stop. And the hammer stopped. And Jane sent it away because she chose to battle her own fight and hope that the other heroes can stop Magog. Doesn't look good for our heroes, I'm telling you. I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. And they kind of bury the lead, right? Death of the mighty Thor. Doesn't mean Jane Foster's going to die, but Thor's going to get his hammer back. We all know this. I say that she ends up giving the hammer back to Thor so he can take down Magog. Now, Jane Foster and this hammer, their Mjolnir did things for Jane Foster it never did for Thor. So where's that relationship at? And after that moment that he was fucking, you motherfucker, I wonder how this is going to play out. I'm sure Jason Aaron has an idea. But now Jason Aaron's leaving the series after the death of the mighty Thor, so who knows? But an excellent book. Jason Aaron always does well in balancing carnage and human emotion. So this is a great book, guys. What did I give it? It's a 9. Something. Bear with me, god damn it. A 9. I gave it a 9. I could probably go a little higher than that. It's that good. This is going to be a good series, especially Thor's getting a hammer back, and I've been waiting 3 years for that to happen. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, the next book, a non-superhero book. Okay, Kill or Be Killed. Okay, and yeah, it's basically about a vigilante. Let me break it down for you real quick. You've got a guy. His name's Dylan. He's got a lot of issues. His family's got a lot of mental history, or so he thought. And he starts seeing a demon. And the demon basically says, yeah, you're going to kill for me, or I'm going to make you deathly ill. So then there's a thing where he does it. He starts like picking people in a newspaper that have been convicted and acquitted of horrible crimes that everybody knows they're guilty of. And he kills a couple. Okay? Well, then he kind of steps into it a little bit by killing a Russian mobster. Well, then his weed dealer gets snatched up and basically rats him out. That, yeah, I think I seen him at your brothel the other night. I don't know what he was doing. He's not that kind of guy. So they start putting things together. So he takes out a very large part of the Russian mob where he lives. He's getting pretty good at it. Well, then he realizes that it's his medication. His medication's been fucked up. Gets all his medication, stops seeing the demon. He's not getting sick anymore. Well, then he starts finding some old photos that his father used to illustrate, and he sees the exact same demon. What's the chances of that shit? So maybe he ain't crazy anymore. Maybe there is actually a demon. So then it flips around again, and then he's like, I'm crazy. You know, there's no demon. His brother, who had committed suicide a couple years ago, he's going through his brother's old artifacts. He finds another picture of the same demon. His brother seen the exact same demon he did. So the demon is real. Now, in this issue, he's in a mental hospital. Now, it kind of tells a story on how they got there. That's the one thing this book does. It'll start with somewhere and you're like, what the fuck? Did I miss the issue? But just keep reading. It's, Ed Brubaker. Ed Brubaker's fantastic. He does these crime stories really, really good, and World War II stuff. World War II stuff, really good. Crime stuff, really good. And he tells a great story. He's been telling a great story. This is issue 15. It's fantastic. It was close to being on my best of 2017 list. Didn't quite make it. I think it was an honorable mention, but didn't quite make the list. Really, really good book. But at the end, he kind of flips the script on the demon. The demon's been in his ass because he's trying to block the demon out. And the demon's like, dude, you owe me some blood. Where's my blood at? And, Dylan's trying to block him out. It's getting to be too much on him. And it leads to an event that gets him into this mental hospital. So in group therapy, Dylan flips the script on the demon. I won't spoil it, but it's pretty cool shit. I'm really curious to see how the story plays out. And that's always a sign of a good comic book story or a good comic book series, is does it keep you hyped for the next issue? Like, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God, what you gonna do? That's what you want, man. Kill or Be Killed does that for me. It's a character-studded vigilante that sees a demon. It's pretty cool. Very good issue, 8.5. Fantastic, man. It's a good week for comic books, dude. Pick of the week. Drum roll, please, Mike Woodard. Yeah. Big shocker here, guys. Batman 39, Tom King. All right. Before you start fucking making gagging sounds with me and Tom King, this is good, guys. This is really good, and I'm going to tell you why. For one thing, it's got Wonder Woman in it, so come on. He's brought back Jolie Jones, who is a fantastic artist. Wonder Woman's never looked so good, but Tom King, man, he's a storyteller. Yeah, come on, man. I know, but dude, I call it like I see it, man, Casey. I call it like... Casey's like, more Batman? Come on. Get off Batman's nuts. You're right. This is good, man. This is good stuff. I'm telling you. All right. Oh, and I also have to bring up the fact that, not to get political again, but I'm going to for a minute, because I hate this shit. I hate this shit. I'm gonna get on a little rant. I saved my rant. Holy shit, am I an hour and a half? There's no way I'm an hour and a half. Am I an hour and a half? Oh my God, I'm an hour and 60 minutes. Okay. I gotta make a quick rant. Okay. Batman, Wonder Woman. They met a guy in a dimension when they were fighting with the Justice League. Oh, you don't want me? No, Casey. Casey just said, I'm waiting for you to get Mr. Miracle in trade so your mind will be totally blown. Disagree. It was going to make... Remember we were supposed to give our most disappointed in? Mr. Miracle is my most disappointing title of 2017. That's what I meant when I said Tom King's doing some stuff I do not like. Do not like Mr. Miracle one bit. I can't say I don't like it. It's not that great. And why everybody's jacking off about it, I have no idea. I really don't. I don't think they do. I think it's just a cool thing. Maybe you can sway my opinion on it. Maybe we'll do a show on it when we talk about the John Malin thing. But yeah, Mr. Miracle, not a fan. Not a fan. And maybe I'll do my next show on that. How about that? But this, Tom King, nails it. Batman, Wonder Woman. They met a guy while they were fighting the Justice League called the Gentleman. He basically fights in a dimension where there are hordes of demons trying to get to our world. But they can't because he keeps them back. He can never leave. The only way that he can leave is if somebody from this side, the DC Universe side, lets him out and takes his place. It's the only way. So Batman and Wonder Woman made a deal with him and said, we will take your place. Okay? So they do that. And Batman is telling Selena this. He's just engaged, right? So basically you're telling your fiance, hey, I'm going to go fight in this dimension. We're giving him a day here to do whatever he wants. We're giving him a break. We promise this to him. And she's like, well, what about Superman? Yes, Jason, that was I'm getting to that. I've got that wrote down. Yes, that is a fantastic moment in this book. I love it when chat guys have read the comic. So Selina's like, why not Superman? He sounds way better suited for this than you. And Batman's like, because in this dimension, powers are not, you can't use them. So fighting prowess is more advantageous. So me and Wonder Woman are going. And she's like, I'm going to tell him you said that. Like, he goes, well, I'm better suited for this than Clark. And she's like, I'm going to tell him you said that, which was a great moment. But yeah, so in the beginning, Wonder Woman uses the bat signal. Okay? And Gordon's like, who's using the goddamn bat signal? I told you not to do that. So as he's coming up, he sees it's Wonder Woman. He's like, oh, it's you. And Batman, she's like, he goes, well, Batman will be here in a minute. And Wonder Woman's like, he's standing right behind you. And he's like, oh yeah, there he is. Classic, right? And Batman's like, you could use the Justice League communicator. And she goes, yeah, I know, but I thought this would be more fun. All right. So very coy, cutish Wonder Woman. I love it, which is going to get me to my rant here in a minute. Because there's been a lot of shit said about how Tom King's portraying Wonder Woman. It's very sexist. And I really want to throat punch my boy Chad at IGN who does the comic reviews because he's a fucking idiot. He really is. He's a moron. I don't even know why. I look at his reviews so I can get amped up and go hit the gym. Okay, Casey. All right, hold on. I'm getting there. Okay, so anyway, Batman and Wonder Woman, they let the gentleman out. Okay, and Selina's kind of in charge of getting where he needs to go. So she's like, he's in his battle armor. Oh, and that's another thing. Batman's in like medieval Batman armor. It looks awesome. And Selina and Wonder Woman are kind of fucking with him about like how ridiculous he looks, which is funny. So anyway, so they're in this dimension and they're fighting. Okay, and Wonder Woman's trying to be cute with Batman at first, and oh, you don't look so stupid in your armor, blah blah. Little flirtatiousness, baby. Okay, so as the gentleman is in our dimension, he lets Selina know that he's married and he's gonna go call his wife, and she's like, "Oh, you're married?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she was like, "How long has it been since you've seen your wife?" Because he's been fighting for thousands of years, right? Batman told her that, and he goes, a year ago, maybe a little more. And Selina's like, well, wait a minute. Batman said you've been fighting these hordes of demons for thousands of years. Well, I have been. Time's different there. Like, you don't age, and time goes by faster than here. And she starts like, well, wait a minute. How long have, so they've been gone a day. How long? You end up finding out it's been 10 years. Batman and Wonder Woman, even though the day ain't over yet, Batman and Wonder Woman have been fighting hordes of demons. The endless horde that never ends, mind you, for 10 years. Okay? Now, this is my argument. Or two, the argument that Tom King is making Wonder Woman be a sexist. Because toward the end, you find out that they had been going, the only way the portal opens is if the gentleman's on the other side. They go to the portal, he goes to the portal, it opens. They've been going to the portal for 10 years. She asked him, how long has it been? She's like, you miss her. You have to miss her. And he's like, yes. How long has it been? It's been 10 years. We've been going to the door, it don't open. So they're thinking it's not ever going to open. It's been 10 years. And there's a scene where Batman's fighting this dragon and Wonder Woman's basically washing the blood off of her. And she's like, hey, do you need my help? He's like, of course Batman's not going to say he does. And she's like, I'll pull, you stab. They get it. So at the end, they're waiting for the next horde. There's little breaks in between the hordes advancing, okay, or another horde army. So they're sitting at a campfire. And they're basically like, look, and let me tell you, this is it. When you're in a foxhole with somebody, and if Brian O'Neill, who's ex-Marine, he can attest to this, being on the fire department, I know something a little bit about it. When you're fighting side by somebody, you form a bond, okay? Not saying it has to be a sexual bond like everybody wanted with Bucky and Cap. Get over it. Like I said, if you've never had a best friend or a friend or somebody in your life that you loved absolutely unconditionally, no matter what they did, and you didn't want to fuck them, I feel sorry for you. You shouldn't want to fuck these people. Okay? Everything doesn't have to be sexual. It really doesn't. But you've got Wonder Woman and Batman fighting side by side for 10 years. They think there is no tomorrow. They're fighting demons. Yeah, they're probably going to beat them, but they might be getting a little tired now. And they've got each other. And the last panel is basically them leaning in to kiss. Now, I know Casey's like, he's married. He's not married yet, goddammit, he's just engaged. But yes, that is what happens in the throes of war, in the throes of battle. When you think your life's on the line and you've got one person that you know absolutely for fucking sure that has your back. Wonder Woman and Batman have been through it before, but now they've only got each other. What's going to happen? It's human nature. It doesn't make Wonder Woman a fucking slut, a whore. It doesn't make Tom King a fucking sexist. It's what would happen. Okay? Now, if you thought Batman and Catwoman were going to get married or not be a fucking issue, you were out of your goddamn mind anyway. But that is why this was a fantastic book. That came out of nowhere. You're like, oh shit, Batman, motherfucker, gonna hit that shit? No, he is probably gonna hit it. I'd hit it too. Come on, man. It's 10 years. We're fighting demons. We're not going home. We've been trying to go home. See, what's fun, they don't know, I don't think the gentleman knows either what the time, like, does a day equal 10 years? Because Selena asked. Like, whoa, wait a minute. They've been gone a day, so how long have they been gone? You come to find out a day equals 10 years. Okay? This dude's been gone thousands. He's like, I don't give a shit. I'm calling my wife, dude. You know? So, yeah. Great storytelling. And it's so refreshing to get a story that isn't punch, it's over. You know? Like, bad guy. Beat him up. It's over. Foil the bank robbery. It's over. Thanos is beaten back to outer space. It's over. This is something totally different, man. And I dig the shit out of it. Fucking awesome. A fucking 10, guys. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a 10. 9.5, though. It's a 9.5. The art is fantastic. Jolie Jones just draws just a great Batman and a great Wonder Woman. The dialogue's fantastic. I love a playful, flirty Wonder Woman. Sexist, get the fuck out of here, man. You're not even reading the story, bro. You're not even reading it. Put yourself in their shoes for just a second, and maybe you might have feelings for somebody that's as hot. Okay, Gal Gadot. How long do you think any man could stand in a room? They're the only two people in the world. You're fighting side by side. How long? Just how fucking long? Yeah, you're not going to last. It's Gal Gadot, dude. She's like one of the most gorgeous women on the planet. A la Wonder Woman. So, yeah. So, eat a dick, IGN. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know, man. I tell you what, this Jesse Schneider kid or whatever does the reviews, he's a piece of shit and an idiot. Yeah, I don't like being negative, right? But yeah, there it is. I said it. What's he going to do? But yeah, guys, Batman 39, 9.5. Fantastic, man. It was a good week for comics, guys. Dude, I went an hour and 27 minutes. That's crazy. But look, a lot of big stuff coming for the Blazing Infinity Report this year. I'm going to be doing some, yes, Jason Moran, you were very, very late. Watch the playback, man. I think there was some good stuff, on it. Some really great comic books. And some maybe some controversial stuff too. Check out the John Malin podcast. It needs to be listened to just so you can have an opinion. You don't have to voice your opinion. But I think, I didn't know what an SJW was, and so it was kind of interesting, right? But I'm curious to get your guys' feedback. I think me and Casey are going to do, if Breaking the Panel doesn't want to touch this, I think Casey and I will touch it on a future edition of the report. I don't think this is over yet. I'm really curious to see what Marvel does with Malin after these comments. And Marcos, hey, giveaways, man. We got stuff to give away. Collector Zone, we're going to give some shit away. I cannot wait to give you guys some of this cool shit, man. And go to Collector Zone. Go to the Zone Comic Shop. A lot of big stuff coming in 2018, man. We need to make we need to bring comic books back. This is how we do it. If you like this show, guys, post it, share it, like it. That gets me a lot of traffic on Facebook. Facebook will push it out to people that normally wouldn't see it. But man, let's just have some fun. And guys, I always try to end on a positive note. And like we were talking earlier about the whole SJW thing, just treat people like you'd want to be treated. I don't give a shit if they're black, they're gay, they're short, they're Jewish, they're fat. It doesn't make a fucking difference, man. You treat somebody just like you'd want to be treated. The universe will treat you back in kind. I believe that, and that's the way everybody should fucking live their life. So guys, thank you so much for joining in today. Dude, the chat was great. I love it when you guys talk amongst yourselves and argue. There wasn't a whole lot of arguing tonight, which I thought there might be, but there wasn't. But a lot of cool stuff. I got some live shows coming up in some different venues. I've got some great comic artists that are going to be on. I'm waiting to finalize them, and I don't want to jinx anything yet, but some of them are going to be huge. You're going to love it. So stay tuned. And if you know anybody that you think might be interested in comic books or what I bring to the table, share it, man. Let them know. Blazing Defender Report on Facebook, on iTunes, Blog Talk, Stitcher Radio, whatever. You can find me there. I'm on all the social media outlets. So let me know what you thought about the show. Let me know what you thought about the John Malin thing. And we'll probably talk about it in a future episode. So with that, guys, have a very good night. And I'll see you next week. Get out. Buy some comic books. Peace.